And so what did this fellow, this last experience you said where this fellow went to the shaman or whatever and he was given this ring or whatever, it sounds like something from Lord of the Rings where it's the power ring and Rebisar destroyed it. Was the kid okay with this, or did he understand what Rebisar did?
I'm sure he did, because he had more experiences with Rebisar, which he will not reveal. He says they're very personal, and so he's keeping them to himself. And you see, when he started singing the new song, he became very. He became very expectant. He thought things would change, his life would change dramatically, and that's the situation in which many Africans find themselves. They start from maybe -0, and they want to go up to somewhere up there above 0. And so when they join the new presentation, there are always these expectations of life improving dramatically and magically. And so when things are not moving, Mariam was even saying the other day how some have slackened. May be due to this, to the fact that they are not seeing things improving fast for them, but maybe they need to be reminded that the new presentation is the word you are presenting is larger than their material desires. So, well, we are living on this level, and everyone needs to do fine in the physical to support themselves. So we can't blame them. So when things were not working out fast enough for him, he went to see the shaman. The shaman told him of this initiation which he was going to have on a particular night, and in which he was going to be given a ring. And on this night, Rebisar appeared in a blinding light and destroyed the power of this ring that was to be given to him in the dream vision. So he went back to the shaman, and the shaman was not very happy that the process did not work out. He told him he was responsible for the failure, that he was doing something else which seems to be working for him, and that he should continue with it. And so he's firmly with the new presentation.
Okay, well, see, Rebisar can see the bigger picture, and that is that, yeah, everybody wants a quick fix, and I understand. And so it's like, okay, you take the time to be trained for a job and go through the process, or you go rob a bank. Okay, so the bank is faster, so you go rob the bank, all right? But the end result is undoubtedly you'll be caught and go to jail. And so Rebisar sees this. In other words, what I see with this shaman fella is that what he did is he gave this person a suggestion. All you have to do is suggest something. And Paul went over this a lot. He gave a lot of information, knowledge about how this works and how people do things in the dreams. And it's very simple, because all you do is get the person to accept it. So, as they're thinking, okay, this guy's the magic guy, he knows what he's doing. So when he tells me this, and I'm going to get this initiation and ring, see, the individual is agreeing to that. And in on the real side, in his dream state, which is all made up, all of a sudden, he's created an expectation of that. But what Rebisar did is he came along and he destroyed it because he saw the end result of it, and that would be that it wouldn't be to the person's advantage. It would actually go the other way. It would be an aspect of control. This is what Joni's doing. It becomes tap lining. That's what it is. It becomes a form of tap lining. And so again, this is what the corporation is doing. And Harry and Joni, they're putting out suggestions there and getting people to agree, and then they become tap lined. And so it's like this. When I did my construction business, or I'm doing this or whatever, I had to creatively put together the situation. I didn't ask for the jobs. I didn't do that. And I know that it's like it is in Africa, but it's really the same everywhere. So if I were in Africa with these people and struggling, if I were here, I would get as an idea, one idea, there's many, I would get everybody together and do something. I don't know, create a moving company, go pick up trash, go do something, you see? But not just beg for miracles out of the sky, because you still have to do something. And again, like my construction business, I had to put it together. I had to do certain things to put it together for it to work, and I had to keep doing that for it to work. And, again, it's this magic idea. It's been around a long time, since Jesus' time and whatever. People are waiting for Jesus to do miracles, and it's the same idea. And, that's like just, looking out your backyard and praying to God. It's like, okay, when is the corn going to grow and when is the lettuce going to grow? It's like, okay, I'm waiting, God, I've been praying, and does it grow? No, it doesn't grow. You got to go plant the seeds. You got to go do something. Everything is according to what it is. So, but when it comes to these ideas here, what I see with this individual is that this is a wake up for him, just like what Paul went through, and I've been through it myself. And Paul was broke at one time; he had almost nothing, and because everything was taken from him, because it was set up to create a new position. It's like the forest burning, and then all of a sudden the new forest grows. And this is just, it is getting rid of the old stuff that's actually in the way. And this is where the boys really don't associate a whole lot with the establishments here, because they're so frozen. It's a waste of time. They may pick out certain individuals that they see have potential, but overall, they're not going to council meetings or Senate conferences or all this nonsense that people create here, because it goes nowhere. Absolutely nowhere. It's just a bunch of deceptive, pretty words. And so they don't mess with that. They walk around it and they creatively start something else. And just like I've created a new presentation, at first it's like, well, what are you doing? It's like, what is this? This is nothing. And it's like, well, it starts from somewhere, like a little lemonade stand. But again, a step at a time. And, as people approach me, Charles, and I see this, and they want the quick fix. And I tell them, well, you have to read the book first. You have to get some idea of what we're doing. But I'm not going to sit here and coach you personally. Here's the assignment. Go do your homework. Figure something out, okay, that makes sense to where we can relate to each other. And then, yes, you come into a group, start listening to others, have the patience to do this like you would take a college course. And again, many people are looking for the magic cure. There's no such thing. I mean, this is an endless position here, and they don't realize that. They don't really see the bigger picture. Well, you know what? They're not ready. That's all there is to it. It's like a 10-year-old kid wanting to join the military. He goes to the recruiting office and he wants to join, but, the recruiter says, well, come back when you're ready, kid. You got some years to grow up, etc. And so, many of these people, realistically, sometimes they just play hard to get. And I really do, because, first of all, they're not ready, and they have to have a particular attitude before I can work with them at all. And that's, that's just very real. And so it's just like people applying to a business for a job or giving their resume. They have to, in some way, learn to qualify themselves for whatever position they're looking to. So nobody just goes and becomes a doctor. You got to go through 20 years of schooling, and then, maybe you're the doctor. So this is a bigger picture. This is what people don't see. They think it's all magic and hoopla, and it's not. It's just very, very real. And actually, the more real you get with it, the better it works. But if you're looking for this magical end, the hocus pocus end, no, it's not going to work, because that's not it. It has nothing to do with that. That's phenomena. And that's the world here. It's like we have our cell phones. That's phenomena. That's a phenomena occurring in the physical. And so, if a job is available, the person has it. But if someone hasn't created that job out there, well, then there's no jobs available. So what do? You do just what the rest of the world is doing. You create the position, you see. And just like this, I didn't take this from anywhere. I created it all. I created it all brand new and used what I had been through as a reference. But like, these other paths of Ardenkar and the Way of Truth and all this other nonsense that's out there, they just took what Paul did and they put a little slant on it, and then they just, they're doing the same thing because, again, they don't have the awareness to see anything else. So what they do is they just copycat it, like John Roger Hinkins, Messiah, and all these people. Yeah, they made a lot of money. They did really good, so it looks like they're successful. And so people see this, they're thinking, well, gee, he did it, and it's like, wow, it just happened overnight. Well, no, they put a lot of work into it, but at the same time, they're deceiving others. And so I would say this individual's experience with Rebisar is very fortunate that Rebisar came in and then did that, because that could lead to a lot more lifetimes of just being stupid, because, again, you have the real knowledge now. You have the knowledge now. What I'm providing is like never before, okay, on this planet. This planet has never seen this. And there's no guarantee, as you come back into the lifetimes, that this is going to exist here. And then you've, for the literal side, it's a huge struggle. You know nothing. So what do? You will go to the systems that exist that are deceiving everybody. Again, stand back and look at this picture. See? Stand back. Not at the barriers, but what's really taking place, and see what else is possible. Everything that I've done, from the Vessel Project to going after the funding, whatever, a step at a time, the boys have led me. It's huge to get the agreements. It's hard for them too, but I've done it, and I've gotten to the best positions in the world. But I did it a step at a time, and people that I knew, my personal family, whatever, they thought I was nuts. It's like, oh, these are your big deals, Duane. Well, I kept going. Yeah, you have to dream it. But you also have to work the process here. You see, so if you've got the Rubik's Cube in your hand, it's not going to magically, figure itself out. You got to move the pieces. And so, again, I see the potential. The potential is always there. And so if, it's easier for me because I went through the process, and I see other people too. I see, I'll give you an example. With the election, with the silly, deceptive election that took place here with Trump and Hillary, there's a lady that's, some people look to as this or that, whatever, I don't really care. She's another politician. Her name's Jill Stein, and some people know her all over. I guess she ran for part of the presidency or whatever on the private ticket. Anyhow, so what she did is, I saw this last week on Facebook. So what she did, she set up a nonprofit, or she uses her nonprofit, whatever. And the idea is that she wants a recount on the votes between Hillary, this fake election on Hillary and Trump, and she's raised almost $7 million, Charles. Yeah, she's almost there. And this is the biggest bunch of BS ever. And she's raised $7 million almost. So again, she put her time and work into it. I wonder how much of that she's going to take. Probably half of it as her salary, and she'll get other people. She's saying, well, I've got to hire other people to do this, but I'm imagining that she's going to get them to work for free. And she's going to take most of the money, just like all these so-called government plans for the homeless. They steal all the money. The homeless never gets it, whatever. Again, everybody's got to earn their way. But what I'm saying is that anything can be created, if you take the initiative. And, just a short 200 years ago, you look at this, how the United States and the struggle that people went through, but look where we are today. I mean, it's amazing. And so I see, the Africans is amazing. But they're trying to compare it with the United States and all these other ideas. Forget all that. I never did that. I never compared it with anything else. Never compared myself with John D. Rockefeller. It's like, why don't I have all this money if he's got it? No, I just did my own thing. And so a step at a time. And I could do what they're doing also. It's not hard. It's just figuring it out. But my focus is this, because we only have so much time. And these people should, realistically, I don't care if they got to walk 1,000 miles, like Abraham Lincoln did. It's possible. And that's part of the journey. That's part of their awakening. But they're not going to wake up if they just keep saying, well, we can't do this, we can't do that, we can't do that, this is this. You see? You're creating your own barriers. And then you're right. It won't happen. And you'll be stuck here. So it's like, Chris as the soldier, you become the real soldier like the Marine. You get out there in the trenches and you do it. And so until you get yourself out of the trenches, you're going to be in the trenches. And that's where we all are. I'm there too. Look at me. Look what I'm doing. Almost every day I'm on this Skype. I'm writing. I'm doing everything I can. Where do you see Harry? Where's Harry at? Hiding. Yeah. Doing nothing. Yeah, and we're taking the heat, and we're the evil ones, etc. So again, I know it's difficult, but you can't use that as an excuse. That doesn't work anymore. You just got to get it done, or you don't. That's the reality of it. And I look at people that have farms, especially, as this country and other countries have grown up. And especially I look at the farmers, and I want to work with the organic farmers when we get the funding and do the hydroponics and et cetera, and help them out, simply because that's huge. People are out there with the weather and all this stuff and the bugs and the pestilence and everything else that's against them to try and grow these crops. And I'm amazed that we have all the food that we do in the world because of the challenge of this planet. So again, everything is a challenge. Everything here basically sucks. But, you've been here so many lifetimes already. And if you really don't make the effort to where you're almost, dying every day, whatever it takes, you're not going to get out of here. That's all there is to it. It's your journey. You're lucky you have the knowledge. So again, hey, we got cell phones today. That's something, duh. We got cell phones. So again, people can write, they can do whatever, they get together. I'll refer again to that documentary I saw on the African women, again, like Miriam. It's really the women that ignite things, and they got together, they created their own bank, and they started loaning each other money for businesses, a step at a time. And it can happen, and the boys will work with you, just like I decided to do the Vessel Project. I decided to do all this stuff, and I didn't have to decide that. But I saw that there's got to be a lot more, so I'll take it on. I'll take on this challenge. I'll figure this out, and I have. Fortunately, Chris has stepped up. He's, done the images, and step by step, we met the people, the right people, and we're there. We have the agreement. But again, you have all this nonsense diplomacy going on in the world, so you have to deal with these knuckleheads. And so, I'm just very real. It's like, why isn't it done? It's way past due. I'm ready to do it. I'll do anything. But these people, they hem and haw because it's all about them. That's how the world is, self-absorbed and poisoning itself. Yeah, so I don't see the big deal, Charles. And whatever Miriam wants to do is fine. And again, she's got to let these people know that you've got to do something and stop looking for magic tricks. Or, go down the road. Go look for your magic tricks. Go pray to God. Go pray to your gods. This is what I tell people. It's like, when they give me an email about something, and it's like, oh, I'm in trouble, I need protection or whatever, I just tell them, hey, go pray to your gods. Again, these people are there in La La Land. They haven't prepared themselves. They're not realistic. So I don't have an answer for them. They want instant protection. They want things to be done for them so they can go back to their La La Land and do all the stupid things they've always done. That's very real. It's like raising a teenager. How spoiled are you going to make them? So every time they ask for money or they're throwing it away or they're in jail, you're going to bail them out each time to where they become just mush brains and nothing. Everybody has to go through the disciplines. And the people that are in Africa or wherever they are on the planet, they're there for a particular, and actually I see the motivation as greater. I wouldn't mind being one of the Africans. That's fine. I'll do it. I'll live in the bushes. I don't care. I'll figure it out. Really. So, yeah, you've got to get this across, Charles, because there is nothing else. You have nothing. There is nothing else but this and the yes. And if anybody thinks so otherwise, their 9-to-5 job is going to hold them up. It's not. It's not at all. If anything, you're mostly attached to that. You got a lot to go to figure that out. And I'm not saying quit the job. That's not the idea. What is your priority? Figure it out. Figure it out. Figure it out. That's your part. Life will not figure it out for you. Life's already figured out. It already is an isness. That's a huge hint, okay? Because look at the corporation people, look at the world. They're always looking to some leader, somebody that's controlling them, thinking that they have the answers for us. Oh, the Mahanta's protecting us. Oh, I'm an American and we have the United States government, And these are all controllers. There's nothing there. The only pure reality there is the boys and the is. And to figure that out, that's the challenge each person has. They have to figure that out. Because this is what they've been struggling for lifetimes, and they have not had the real knowledge. Even in Paul's day, even what Paul presented, because it was the babysitting time, people didn't get it. So they really have to focus on this, figuring out and recognizing the is, and stop playing games. Get together, be real, support each other, and it'll work.